welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. You're catching me on my YouTube channel, True Divine 44. You can get me on my Facebook page, True Divine, and it is the True Divine for both Instagram and Twitter. Excuse my voice, I haven't got a sore throat. It keeps coming and going, as you can see. So this is part of the free content that I put out on a daily basis to help support, guide and inspire those who want to be supported, guided and inspired by this. Only take what resonates, because it is a general reading and it can't cater for everybody at all times, although we are experiencing right now, well, for the last 6 months, very definite energy collectiveness, more so than most, because we are experiencing on a wide scale a screenplay, albeit a bad one, in many ways, but in other ways there's many people pulling together and actually using this as their reset, harnessing what was meant for harm for good, seeing the truth behind a lot of matters, seeing the truth behind a lot of the collective stages, lies, and the systems thereof. So, we extract the good, just like we do with lessons in life. We extract the good and leave what is there that needs to rot away to the ground, to the soil, for the Great Mother to transmute and bring justice. So for the day of the 7th of August 2020, the energy is of that people sometimes, especially the perpetrators, let's say, of things that aren't pleasant towards others, crimes, sometimes, well, a lot of times, they'll, even when they know their final bell is calling, they'll have the goal or the capacity, because it's gotten them out of trouble in the past a lot, to have a lot of bravado about it. So you might even be seeing things on the collective stage from said perpetrators, acting as if nothing's going on, photo shoots, photo opportunities today of these kinds of people, if you can call them that, and but underneath it all there's fear. So there is this energy of fear around those perpetrators on the collective stage in particular. But of course that filters down into the individual's lives, as above so below, as with everything. And the energy that can connect with the perpetrator and the above, has the same energetic imprint. So, that filters down in particular into them. So you might find the people around you that have been doing wrong or doing you wrong, or perpetrating things that they shouldn't be doing. And so you might see that your intuition has been giving you a lot of knowings about them, but today of all days you might see that they come out with a lot of bravado, which makes you question yourself, which makes you question your intuition that you've been having. Don't. It's the bravado of, the last chance to speak kind of thing. It's you're seeing through it. Don't doubt it at all. So the first card being Justice, the major arcana, Justice. You see here they've got the scales on one side, this person in red. So in this card today, and I think this card will morph and change for me as the time goes on, it's a new deck and it's got a lot of symbolism in it. So the fact that she is in red would depict to me that, they think she's been acting in a lower chakra, in the fact a lower frequency. And so there's a measurement being taken here, and you see how the scales directly come out from above her head. So they go right through through the main of it, through the middle of it, which is just how we raise our Kundalini energy, from the base up. And so it's just how we raise our wisdom, our consciousness, from the base up. So you see that the scales measure the whole of the person, because they're going directly down the middle, they're going directly down that spinal cord. So there's justice being done on the collective stage in particular, in our individual lives, There's real victory. This is clarified by the Six of Wands. There's real victory in our individual lives because of this, because there's a vindication of people who've been in the know of these perpetrators on the collective stage, even if that's just vindication from your loved ones. A lot of people have been struggling at the minute because they've come here with more knowing. They've done the work to gain more knowing and more intuition, and family members around them maybe have maybe poo-pooed or given a bit of shade towards them, towards you, because of the beliefs that you have and the knowings that you have regarding what's been going on in the systems that we're living under. So there's vindication there, definitely, for people who have had that going on in their lives. Will appreciate that very much so, because it is very draining. And it's hard to keep that wisdom, to know that spread your knowledge, but only presume that ears to see, ears to hear and eyes to see will be able to transmute the information and use it. So we're getting that vindication there, that slight victory there. There are things going on that, these can play out their merry play in the courtrooms and still have people that are protecting them and whatnot under the systems that we're living under. But there is a real energy here of cosmic energy, universal energy, the Great Mother holding the scales. And so these people have gotten very big for their boots, creating an illusion over the reality of the Great Mother, of this womb that we live on, and the energies and the power that she has. She has her power, though, by connecting to her children. So the children that are aware and are awoken and are being awoken right now, and this gathering of the troops for what is good, for what is just, she can only hook into her power sources that accept her, that see her, that have her in their consciousness. So the fact that is raising people, the fact that this family is growing and many other families, and we're connecting together to work for light, to work for justice, to work for truth, to work for the children, is really powerful, because as many vessels that the Great Mother has to endorse us and give us that strength, that power, that grit, that determination for life, it's a reciprocity. She can't put it in places where it can't be accepted or can't be seen or can't be perceived. And so that energy right now is the kind of energy that is creating the fear amongst these people that would dare to hurt the real children, her real children, still at children's age. So, and those that have gone before them. So that is an awesome collaboration of cards and energies working together. So one thing I would say to some people is it can be very tempting, especially when you've been, say, the truth speaker in your family, and you've been the lone wolf doing that within your family, within your friendship groups, tongue-tied here today. It can be very tempting to slip into ego and to ride that victory out in an ego trip kind of way of, well, I did tell you so, or, well, I did say, and that can put off maybe the window for growth for your family members and friends, because that gets somebody back up. It gets the shackles up on the back, in that it's like then they want to protect their ego. So try to keep it subtle. When people are saying you said that or you said this, we don't need vindication. We don't need that. We're past that. So just don't slip into that by accident. More so for the benefit of your family members and friends that are becoming aware. And so the next card, this came up yesterday, and this is the King of Wands. So this fatherly figure, excuse my fingernails working, this fatherly figure, this passionate man who is kind, he's a divine masculine energy. He knows what to go for, he knows what he wants, and so it's speaking to all of you to light that flame within you today. This came up yesterday, and a few of the other cards that are out came up yesterday. So for me, these cards have been used on personal reading since, shuffled. So for me, this brings more impact to the message of either people who didn't hear it yesterday need to hear it today, People who heard it yesterday need that extra oomph to make them listen or really accept the full entirety of the message maybe. And for the people that accepted the entirety of the message, for me it means that you just need that extra something else within it needs to be spoken about, and maybe it was this justice energy that's going on. So this King of Wands, he is a very just king. He's compassionate, he's loving. He doesn't take any shit, of course, but he has that fire to go towards what needs to happen for the collective. He's protective, he's the father. So that combined with the justice and this flame that is being lit within the people who are aware for this kind of justice and end to this kind of abuse in particular is so important right now. So really do light your own flame today. Really do accept that energy from the Great Mother, from the universal energy, connected source of energy that we have to hook into, and run with it, because we've got the Ace of Cups to clarify him. So this is this emotional new start, this gift from the heavens, so to speak. And so it is this energy that seemingly comes from nowhere. Look, it's coming from a hand, from the heavens, from a cloud. This is what I'm talking about, the Great Mother, her energies of you're getting fired up, you're realizing more, you're feeling more, you're seeing more, you're connecting more. And sometimes it's blowing you away, particularly over the last few days. So, this is, you almost have to pinch your skin, think, is this real? My intuition's really growing. But yes, it is real. And it's that you're connecting in and you are an open vessel to the Great Mother's energies, which is an awesome thing to be. So the divine feminine of the Great Mother is supporting the divine masculine within you, lighting that flame, balancing the divine masculine and the divine feminine out, which is awesome, bringing this new clarity, this new emotional new start. Hey Theodore, 1 second, I'm nearly finished. Come up here while I finish. Okay, well it's clean. It's clean, go on. No, it's fine. Go on, you're not all alone. Good boy, clever boy. Sorry. So the last cards being the 5 of Swords, which came out yesterday. Now, if you look again, I'll repeat myself a little bit in that there's 2 feathers in 2 of these guys here that are tied up on the floor. They're incapacitated, their strength is put over here just out of reach. And there's a guy sort of documenting them. Does it sound similar of any kind of system that we're even born into, that were documented straight away? These men, for me, were free before this moment. Before this moment, they were free. Before this moment was the 4 of Swords. And the 4 of Swords is where we are connected to our consciousness. We are meditating regularly. We are more than what you see in the many now. We're not robotic. We get our knowledge and our laws and our truths from the connected source energy. Because of the 4 of Swords, we're connected to those messages. We're connected to ancestral messages. And so I spoke of this yesterday in that for me, this speaks of way back, ancient Egypt, before we know, and the history that we have been taught and the history that has been written is a lie, and the history that has been on the main part and the history that has been hidden, thereby lies the truth, which I think a lot of these wars are about, to keep hiding these artifacts, these truths, hold down these really spiritually rich lands. And so come the 5 of Swords, you're incapacitated. There is sorrow, there's worry, there's loss of freedom, because all of a sudden your thoughts are being controlled, your thoughts are being manipulated by other. And so it speaks of that even these guys with the white feathers, who to me were 2 guys in the crowd that have been incapacitated here on this 5 of Swords, that did not forget their wisdom, that did not forget where they came from, that did not forget what real freedom is. And so we look at this as it's, you know, this is why more people do need to become more aware and more awake to the truths and the true power within, and the fact that it all comes from in out rather than the system we've been accepting and living under of the out deciding what is within. And so it speaks of that we do need it, and we do need numbers. We do need people numbers, because to overthrow systems that are made for abuse, that are so vast and have had so long to entrench themselves in people's consciousness.
If we flush babies had me and didn't even hear him flush the toilet.
Okay, 1 second then, okay? 1 second, we're just finishing up.
And I can't even see me anymore.
Okay, well, we're just finishing up. Say hey, everybody. You know, cuddly. So, it speaks of this time where, you know, complacency and people maybe accepting what seemed new at the time and all of the promises that came with it, and that complacency, because people in numbers started to do that. That was where these people who've hijacked us and have hijacked us ever since, and they've grown the system stronger, the means of manipulation more vigorous and more vast. And so it really does mean that we do need numbers. We do need to be able to stand in numbers. I don't care if we agree on every point. We shouldn't. We're individuals. That's the beauty of us. But we do need to stand in numbers with one passion, one drive. And the first rule should be to protect the children. Because if we're protecting our children as a species, if we're passionate about it like this King of Wands, to be the father, if we're passionate about it with this Ace of Cups, to be the Divine Mother, if we're passionate about that, then everything else falls into place much easier. Because just like anything else in the animal kingdom that would do anything else to protect their young, even colonies of animals that live together, you know, they work together to protect each other's young. And so we've lost that. And that's a huge key to us remembering who we are, because that's one thing anybody in their right mind can stand together on, in that the children need to be protected. And so we do need to remember and not be complacent about how much we have been hijacked. And when you're having those inner knowings, those psychic visions of times gone by, don't doubt them. Just because a historian who has been paid to have a certain look on things, a certain taint on history, don't do that. Don't doubt yourself just because of what has been written by the system that hijacked us so long ago. I would trust your intuition 10 times more than any list of certain books, of certain school teachings, 100%. So finding that passion to unite, to protect the young. If you want to get biological, you know, a lot of people, they say that this represents the male system, that passionate wand. What comes from that passionate wand when we're balanced in our divinities comes children that are planned, children that are loved, and you know, our fruits. So it's time to remember who we are, to remember the knowledge, and not go on the script that we're being fed for so long. So to get back to where we belong. After the Five of Swords is the Six of Swords. Going from chaotic, choppy waters into calm waters, new horizons.
My Xbox because someone's playing a Roblox and I joined the game and I played on the sim lava game.
Okay.
So you waste my time. So I'm going to play whatever game I play now.
Okay, thank you.
It's like some kind of lava
Okay,
game.
shout bye-bye to everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So we've got the Ace of Pentacles that repeated yesterday too, that is repeated today from yesterday. So this is what is underneath, what's underlying this whole reading. And for me, this is this great mother, this material, this window that we've got to take back our ground, to take back new ways of living, to prosper with them, to be able to make profit that sustains, and however that is, but it sustains and it feeds and it's good for the collective. And on the bottom of the other deck, we've got the Ten of Swords. So bringing this cycle to an end, just a reminder that this doesn't happen in the blink of an eye. Well, it does in time isn't real. So, you know, in this, but it's a blink of an eye, but it seems like so long for us. So these cards come up as a reminder, and this Ten of Swords is that there's no more room in this back here to put any more manipulative words and lies and destroying things within his back, which is what these swords represent. So this cycle is coming to a close, and there is victory with that Six of Wands, and that happens in your personal life too, where you've been affected over the years through manipulation, through people just using their words to harm you. The cycles are coming to an end in your individual lives too, which can bring you some reprieve. Talking about the Six of Swords, I didn't even realise that was underneath the Ten of Swords. So you see where these choppy waters, but this generation, this child, this mother, this father, protecting our fruits, going to new horizons, starting to remember what children mean, what they represent, whether they're our own from our own womb. They're all ours, because, you know, they're living within this collective womb that we're living in, this realm, this Mother Earth energy. And so bringing it into new horizons, remembering who we are. So it's an awesome day again. Take it and run with it. Find that passion, find that common ground, and really, you know, don't doubt your remembrance. Don't doubt the knowings that are coming flooding in, the dreams for many people. Don't doubt those things that are given from your higher self to you, just because a book that has been written, that has been written, don't doubt them just because of a book or a study that has been paid for, to protect the system that it thrives in. So, you know, really remember those knowings, really run with them and know them and go with them, and be directed by the universal mother source energy. Be directed by how that fires you up, where your flame leads you to when you accept that energy and run with it. One more card for one person maybe, I don't know, it might be for a few. Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles, I don't know why, just Justice again on the bottom of the deck. This Justice is coming in. But this Knight of Pentacles, look, he's controlling his horse from going too fast. We want this done. We want snap, snap, snap things to get done. This Knight of Pentacles has the wisdom to plan out, to strategize. So where things on the collective stage and in your individual lives might get a bit frustrating because it's taking too long, it's not really. It's planned, it's strategic, and it's asking us to be so too. To not be violent, to not have these outbursts, but to be methodical, have some self-control, and know where we're going. This Knight of Pentacles absolutely has plotted out and knows his path. He knows the way to get around things, to get around these systems, to make things happen. So whoever needed to hear that, that was for you. Might have been a few of us, because I need to keep getting reminded of that, you know, because I'm a Gemini, I like fast, fast, fast. And I keep getting reminded to you know, slow down, strategize, know that it's coming. So much love, be balanced and be whole. Thank you to everybody who leaves comments, likes, subscribes. I appreciate you all. You're helping me grow what's growing here, which is lovely. People are connecting, people are becoming friends within the subscriber groups and on Facebook. We've got the Truth Warriors group on Facebook, which is open to share the truths. We don't get triggered, we don't get alarmed, you know, if your truth doesn't match with another's, and they just scroll on by. So you know that's there to share things, to get knowledge out, to get especially the physical knowledge of things. There is Divine Truths, which is a little bit slower growing. What I wanted that to be was just anything that is from within, or any knowings or any connections that you've had with what you might call alien or paranormal or spiritual, and bringing the groups together, bringing the collective groups together to try and unite the unusual that we've been sort of cleansed of for too long, bringing the knowings of that in one group. So that's there though, and I'm sure it'll grow more as people sort of recognize what I wanted it to be. If you'd like a private reading with me, you can get in touch with any of the details below. You can message me at True Divine on Facebook as well. Be balanced, be whole. Love you all. Mwah.